Welcome to Ælementz, your daily dose of quick insights to strengthen your knowledge. Today we're talking about gladiators, the legendary fighters of ancient Rome who captivated audiences with their skill, bravery, and dramatic battles in grand arenas. Who were gladiators? Gladiators were trained fighters in ancient Rome who performed in public games and festivals. They were an important part of Roman culture, representing both entertainment and the values of bravery and discipline. These fighters competed in large amphitheaters, like the famous Colosseum, and often used weapons and armor suited to their specific fighting style. Gladiators could face other fighters, wild animals, or even challenging obstacles designed to thrill the audience. Think of it like a sporting event today, where the crowd gathered to cheer on their favorites. While many gladiators were prisoners or slaves, others volunteered for the chance to gain fame and rewards. Some gladiators became household names, admired by Romans from all walks of life. What is the history of gladiators? The history of gladiators goes back to 264 BCE, when their fights were part of funerals to honor the dead. These early battles were seen as a way to celebrate the deceased's bravery or satisfy the spirits. Over time, however, these combats grew into public spectacles supported by Roman leaders as a way to entertain the masses and display the empire's power. By the time the Colosseum was built in 80 CE, gladiator games had become a central part of Roman life. Roman citizens eagerly attended these events, which could include not just fights, but parades and shows involving music and elaborate props. Fighters trained in special schools, called ludi, where they were taught discipline and specific combat techniques. These games reached their height during the Roman Empire, but began to decline in the 4th and 5th centuries as the empire's priorities shifted, eventually ending altogether. Did gladiators always fight to the death? Not at all. Despite the dramatic portrayals in films, most gladiator fights did not end in death. Gladiators were valuable, and their trainers, called lanistai, invested a lot of money and time in their training. Losing a skilled fighter was expensive, so many matches ended when a winner was clear, and the loser was spared. There were cases where the crowd or the sponsor of the games could influence the outcome, but life-ending matches were less common than people think. For example, records from ancient Rome show that many gladiators fought multiple matches over their careers, building reputations and earning rewards. What types of gladiators were there? There were many types of gladiators, each with unique weapons, armor, and fighting styles. For instance, a mumio carried a large shield and a short sword, resembling a Roman soldier. A retiarius used a net and a trident, relying on agility to outsmart heavier opponents. A triax used a curved sword and a small shield, often facing opponents with contrasting styles. This variety kept the audience entertained, as each type of gladiator had strengths and weaknesses, much like different athletes in sports today. For example, a heavy armored fighter might struggle to keep up with a fast, lightly armored opponent, creating suspense and excitement in the arena. Were gladiators free or enslaved? Gladiators came from various backgrounds. Many were enslaved individuals or prisoners of war, forced into the profession as part of their punishment. However, not all gladiators were enslaved. Some were volunteers, including Roman citizens, who chose to become gladiators for fame, wealth, or even a sense of adventure. Voluntary gladiators often signed contracts agreeing to fight for a set period, and successful ones could become very wealthy. They were celebrated by the public, and some even retired with their freedom, living comfortably afterward. What was life like for gladiators? Life for gladiators was challenging, but not without its rewards. They lived in gladiator schools, where they trained daily under strict discipline. Their training included learning to use specific weapons, building physical strength, and practicing combat techniques. Gladiators followed a high-energy diet mainly consisting of grains and beans, earning them the nickname barleymen. This diet helped them maintain energy and build a protective layer of fat, which shielded their bodies from shallow wounds. Despite the risks, the best gladiators could achieve significant fame, often being admired by both commoners and nobles. Some were even granted freedom by their sponsors after exceptional performances. Interesting facts about gladiators. Gladiators were advertised like modern celebrities. Just like posters for sports or concerts today, ancient Romans put up advertisements for upcoming games. These posters often featured the names and achievements of the gladiators, helping fans choose their favorites. Gladiator fights were carefully choreographed. While the outcome was real, many matches were planned to showcase specific skills and entertain the crowd. It was more about the performance than just brute force. Though rare, female gladiators fought in some games and were often used as a special attraction. In one recorded instance, 2 women fought in front of Emperor Nero. Gladiators were more than just fighters. They were entertainers and cultural icons of ancient Rome. They embodied the values of courage and strength that Romans admired. What do you think about the life of a gladiator? Would you have attended these games if you lived in ancient Rome? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here. If you find this helpful, consider subscribing. More content is on the way, and I hope to see you again.